Welcome to Reno, Nevada. This is the Nugget Casino, home of the Nugget Rib Cook-Off, the best in the West Nugget Rib Cook-Off. Soon we'll be going out on the street where 24 cookers are set up. For 6 days they'll be smoking and grilling ribs. It's gonna be a barbecue feast. Tell me about the cook-off in its 19th year. How many people come? How big a deal is it?
Well, for us, it's huge. And I think on the national barbecue circuit, it's very, very big. We expect about 500,000 people out over 6 days. We started Wednesday, we end Monday on Labor Day. And that will be the time when we announce the winner for this year's competition. But it's been great. We've just had record crowds, nice sunny weather. It's been a wonderful few days.
How many rib cookers are here?
We have 24 rib cookers here from around the country, one from Australia. We have a couple of new ones this year. There's Memphis Barbecue, actually out of Las Vegas, that's joined us. But a lot of the regulars that we've had for the last few years have returned.
How does a rib cooker qualify to be here? You don't just bring your Weber and set up shop, do you?
You know, actually it is, it's considered a privilege to be here, and we are very careful about who we let in. They definitely have to be able to keep up with the volume. And when someone wants to join us, they send us pictures of their booth. They give us a history of where they've performed before, and we kind of take all of that into consideration when we decide to allow them into the event or not. We do have a waiting list, I might add, because this is a big deal. And I think, you know, everyone thinks they've got the best recipe, so.
What kind of volume does a typical rib cooker have to be able to produce to keep up here at the Rib Cook-Off?
Yeah, well, I think they're cooking probably 300 to 500 racks at a time. We actually sell roughly 200,000 pounds of pork ribs over those 6 days. So you can divide that by 24 and get a pretty good idea of just what kind of volume they all put out.
And where do the visitors come from that are here to eat ribs?
You know, that's been the fun thing, is that's really grown also. I mean, certainly we have a lot of locals here. When you go around town, everyone's talking about the Rib Cook-Off. I would venture to say everyone's going to make it down here at least once. But they also come from all over the place, and you know, thanks to folks like you who give us that attention. But we've been in the New York Times, we've been on CNN, and so when you walk around, you'll see a lot of Californians, a lot of Texans, just from all over the western United States primarily.
And who doesn't like ribs?
Oh, you bet. It's great. People are passionate about this. That's what makes it so fun.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm with John Esquaga, the man who started it all. What made you decide to have a rib cook-off 19 years ago?
We just started so small. It was just an idea. We picked it up back in the Midwest at Cleveland, and we thought we'd send somebody back there, and we just started 19 years ago, and we just perfected the whole rib cook-off. I don't know how any event, any place in the United States could be better planned than this one. Thanks to my staff, I just sit in my office and they do all the work, and I get all the credit, and I shouldn't get any. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate it so much.
You grew up with the rib contest, didn't you?
Yeah, that 19 years ago, and actually prior to that, we had a stack of yellow page phone books, and we were calling rib restaurants and caterers and trying to explain what a rib cook-off was, especially out west. And it all went from there. Really, we had a few takers. Usually, the discussion usually ended when I told them about sending their deposit check in.
Yeah.
It usually didn't go much farther than that. But yeah, to see it grow into to this 19 years later is really, really something.
So, how old were you when these started? You were,
I was 20.
so you
And,
were.
yeah, I was a summer intern from college, and
Uh-huh.
that was really my job. I had a little cubicle and just cold call.
Just.
And I learned the art of rejection. Well, I had already learned it before that, pretty much. But
it wasn't personal, huh?
it wasn't personal, but it really is funny now because it's the extreme opposite. We have a file of cookers that are waiting on deck for an opening, and yet we've got this core that have stayed with us. And I'll tell you, especially those ones that took the gamble on us the first few years. You know, it's pretty much an open invite for them.
Right. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Great having you.
I'm in the Rib Village with Dave Preston, one of my fellow judges, and he also is a man who knows Reno. Tell us about the Rib Cook-Off and why it's a great thing for Reno.
Well, it's a great thing because at the very least, it's a great family thing. And anytime you can have a family thing in this day and age, you got one of the greatest things going. I also think that the city of Reno, Sparks, because we are truly in Sparks, has found this niche and it's brought people from literally all over the country. They project about 500,000 people will come through here in the 5 days. They'll do 1,000 tons of ribs, and everybody will be or rather 100 tons of ribs. 1,000 tons would be a lot, but everybody.
100 tons is still a lot.
100 tons is still a lot of ribs. About 40,000 slabs a day. So that's pretty good cooking. One of the great things about this, and one of the prestigious things about this, is that this rib cook-off is by invitation only. And the last year was the first time in 9 years they had a substitute of the 24 competitors. So you get to know the ribs, you get to know the judges. I've been out here 7 years, and I've really got to know a lot of these cookers pretty well. And I pretty well know whose style does what. It's not really a bias, but you know, you always have your preference as a judge. I judge a rib very much like I judge my wines. I try to sniff them. I try to get a olfactory understanding of what I'm eating, and that helps me pick what I think is the better rib. Always moist, not too chewy, not too much barbecue, and not too sweet. A little bit of spice.
No, I haven't gotten another day job, but I am standing in front of Dottie's Casino in Reno. Actually, this is Sparks, Nevada. It's right behind the Nugget. Every year at the Reno Cook-Off, I drop by Dottie's, drop a few nickels in the slots, and pick up some great matches. I just love Dottie's. They actually spelled the name right. Dottie's guest only. We're going to get some matches.